One day, some time ago, people were very active in their everyday lives. They worked hard to produce and preserve their own food. Neighbors were valued and cherished. They made their own clothing and even built their own homes. If they had to go somewhere, and they didn't usually go far, they walked or hitched up their horses to draw carts, plows, buggies, or sleighs. People depended on each other to help with the big jobs, such as harvest time or barn raising. But one day, things became more complicated. People no longer only worked on their farms or in their own communities. They had to drive great distances to find employment to support their families. They didn't have time to make their own meals. They bought their processed food at the grocery store, or their food came in a paper bag through a window. Parents drove their children to school and anywhere else they needed to go. Activities were organized as they saw their community as a dangerous place. Screen and fingertip communication replaced the neighborly visit. People grew more sedentary and stress levels increased. Chronic diseases became much more common, even affecting children. For the first time in history, children were expected to live shorter lives than their parents. People's tastes changed, and they began to prefer sweet, salty, and fatty foods. Relationships between people suffered as they became more isolated and distrusting. The people realized things needed to change. They wanted a better future for themselves and for their children. They began to recognize the importance of healthy living. They wanted to see healthy people in Lanark, Leeds, and Grenville who live, learn, work, and play in healthy communities. They wanted parks to play in, nature trails to wander, facilities for sports, and sidewalks so they could walk safely to school, to work, or to shop. They wanted community gardens and farmers' markets where they could grow or produce locally grown food. Individuals, groups, and organizations worked together to make their communities healthy communities. The people became more active, happier, and ate nutritious foods that tasted delicious. People met each other in the parks and while out walking. They got to know people from other generations and cultures and enjoyed spending time with them. The downtown core revitalized as people dropped in to shop and visit. They valued nature again. Farms were thriving and sustainable. Companies from across Canada and beyond heard about the healthy communities in Lanark, Leeds, and Grenville and came to see what was happening. They found places where they could live healthy lives and chose those communities for relocation. Everyone realized the difference it makes to live in a healthy community where all community members have the opportunity to make healthy choices, to live in a healthy environment that promotes well-being and quality of life. And that is why all the community members are so glad that they live in Lanark, Leeds, and Grenville. This story is still in the development stage. We have begun our journey towards healthy communities, but there is still work to be done, and collaborating, innovating, and co-creating to do. We each have a contribution to make. Please consider this your invitation to join or continue on the journey towards our healthy community.